What's up guys and welcome back to another video. So I am here with something a little bit different. So I do plenty of reactions on this channel of music and various other things. But what people probably don't know is my daytime job is as an IT technician. So I do know my stuff when it comes to tech and IT related things. And apparently Vox or Verge did a kind of a really messed up gaming build on a PC. So there's some sort of supercut here of this, so we're just going to go through it and just see what's what. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, enjoy this, and of course if you like your tech, hopefully we'll enjoy this. Let's just get through it.
There is a video that a lot of people have been sharing
so
in
this is
my
probably
Discord.
a year ago, I haven't seen it.
Notifications over and over and over to review this thing before it gets taken down.
On September the 13th of this year, The Verge published a video on YouTube.
This was last year.
This is a notoriously bad video, apparently. I haven't watched it yet.
2008.
It was like a total fucking shit show.
How we built $2,000 gaming PC.
But I've been told it is extremely bad, and it's full of things that you just shouldn't do when building a gaming PC.
At first, I admit, I thought it was satire.
So a few years ago, TC or
So
managing...
$2,000 is actually quite a lot for a gamer PC. I mean, it's not high tier, but for everyday use, $2,000 is well more than what you need.
Hi, Stefan. You probably shouldn't have included your Twitter handle here, because I imagine you're just going to get absolutely flamed from the internet.
You can build a gaming desktop for around $1,000.
Which is true.
Well, yeah, you can build a gaming desktop for around $1,000 or $350 or $250 or $200 or $175 or $150.
Wise of gaming PCs though, like anything, like a lot of things, you get what you pay for. So if you're going to get a $145 gaming PC, you're going to get $145 worth of it. So you might be able to play some low-res Minecraft, but you're not going to be able to play, you know, top-tier World of Warcraft or anything like that. You need to pay. You do get what you pay for.
Or sometimes even $100. But yeah, sure, $1,000.
I want to go all out, so I spent around $2,000.
$2,000 is a decent chunk of change for a gaming PC.
Games. So
agreed.
What do you need to build a desktop? Well, of course, first you need a table. Probably not metal.
Hold on, time out. Time out.
So, what do you need to build a desktop? Well, of course, first you need a table.
You needed to. He's not wrong. That's kind of funny.
First,
That's really funny.
Table. Preferably not.
You need a table to build a PC. I thought you could build it in mid-air.
You cannot build this on the floor. So step 1, you need a table. Step 2, you better have 2 hands. And they better have 10 digits.
Oh god, this is one of my first times reacting to other people reacting, and god, this is funny. God damn, okay.
It's just common sense that you're going to need a working surface area to build a computer. That's just... Why even say that?
Have an anti-static working surface layered on top of it, a thermal paste applicator, and
What's a thermal paste?
A thermal paste applicator? What the heck is that?
Does anybody ever actually use a thermal paste applicator?
an Allen wrench.
An Allen wrench?
Why is he recommending an Allen wrench?
I have never
What
used
is
an
this
Allen
real?
wrench to build a computer ever.
Is this real? An Allen wrench? Wow, I mean, I guess if your case and stuff has a specific way, but that's very uncommon.
About 30 computers now.
Unless he used that Allen wrench to put together the table.
Some tweezers to tighten up the wires.
Hold on, did he just say tweezers? Those are zip ties.
How in God's name is my English better than his?
This is not turning out good already.
A Swiss Army knife, which hopefully has a Phillips head screwdriver in it.
A Swiss Army knife that hopefully
This can't be real.
Hopefully
this can't be real.
has a Phillips head
This
screwdriver.
is definitely not real. It can't be. It just can't be.
No.
Wouldn't you
There's no
make
way.
sure that you have the tools necessary before you start the build?
This
There's
is
no
a
way.
sponsored video.
Why does your office with so many dozen PCs and so many dozen tech employees not have one of these?
And last but not least, an anti-static bracelet, which is to protect you
Okay, that's
and
true.
the parts.
Fair enough
These
on
are the
that.
parts you're going to need. But more importantly, before we get...
Hold on.
He's not
That's not an
connected to
anti-static
anything.
bracelet at all.
He's not
There's no
connected to
brown
anything.
wire coming off of it. He's not connected to anything. That looks like the bracelet I'm wearing.
It's not a wireless wristband. That's a rib-strong bracelet. He's not fighting static. He's fighting cancer.
That's not going to work at all. Don't listen to this person. This is really bad so far.
I'm dying. Oh my god, I was like, yeah, good. It's not connected to anything. Oh,
We have a
God,
lot of
it's not
boxes
grounded.
and a lot of PC parts, so it's best you unbox them, isolate the parts that you really need, so it's best you unbox them, isolate the parts that you...
What? Why did he destroy the box? Dude, you have a knife right there, man.
God, people are butchering
That wasn't
this.
so hard, was it?
And screw in
God.
with confidence, but also don't screw in too hard, otherwise
Screw in with confidence. I like his style.
Oh, at least he put the posts in. He didn't tell. It's a tutorial. They didn't tell you to put the posts in, but luckily he already did it, and you just have to figure it out on your own.
I chose Asus's Z37
Asus?
Asus.
Asus? Asus?
for two main
Asus.
reasons. One, it has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and also it has
Don't buy a motherboard just because it has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
support for NVMe SSDs, meaning you can get really
Okay, I want to stop it there because why is he installing the motherboard straight into the chassis? I'd install as much as I physically could onto the motherboard
first
So you're
and
talking
then
the
get in.
processor, thermal paste. It's cooler if it will allow it. Obviously, if you're using an AIO, it's a different story or custom loop. But if
I
it's
don't
an
know
air
if I'll put the
cooler, you
cooler
can
on
put that on
first,
there.
but,
M.2 drive, so that could be SATA raw, NVMe, and memory as well. So basically, try and build as much as you can onto the motherboard.
So you don't
when
have
you
to
do
be
transfer
awkward.
it to the case, it's just generally easier.
attention to the brace that goes at the brace that the brace that goes the brace that goes at the back of
brace?
the computer.
Oh my.
Did he seriously just call an IO shield plate a brace?
You always have to make sure that you really hammer it in because there's no screw.
Do not
Don't
hammer
do
it
that,
in.
you'll break it, you
Please
will
do
snap
not
it.
hammer Why did he say hammer it in?
You will
Secondly,
snap it 100%.
it's pretty fast RAM. It's 2,666 megahertz.
That's not that fast for DDR4 memory. That is very,
was gonna
very
say, that's
slow.
just very standard, really.
66 is not that fast.
I can run
Yeah, I
at
think I have 3200 in this, and this is not top tier.
3200 megahertz.
That would be classified as really fast on DDR3, but for DDR4, not so much.
Okay, I don't know why he's opening all 4 DIMM slots. He only has 2 sticks of RAM. He's putting this in wrong. Already. There's the little notch right there, and there's the hole. You can tell right now.
These guys
this
are
is
wrong
not
way
lined up.
around.
He's already putting it in upside down. He's not going to be able to snap this in.
And just lining that up with the logo.
Oh, they cut away.
So once you hear that,
They cut away because he was putting it in wrong.
so once
this
you
is
hear that
atrocious.
solid clasp and you don't see
You mean click? It's not a
Yeah,
class.
just it goes
Now he's in slot 4.
click, click, click both sides.
Who edited this?
I mean, I tell you, I'm definitely editing my video down so I don't sound stupid.
step 3, we're going to install
Hold on. What is that?
Hold up.
What is this right here?
What do you guys see wrong?
He installed the memory incorrect.
Oh no, he installed
put
the
it next to
memory
each
wrong.
other.
They side by side. They should be.
You have to do like a one on, one off sort of thing. So if you only have 2 sticks, you go one on, one off, one off, one off, one on, one off. Wow! I didn't realize it was going to be this bad.
Face out for that motherboard. I look at the manual. That's the wrong way.
So rip dual channel support on his motherboard if he's going to run his RAM like that.
That is only going to read 8 gigs. That's not going to read 16 because one of them's installed incorrectly.
Speaking of the memory, I wish I could erase this one.
But you can always upgrade this and swap it out, and it's only held down by 1 screw and the latch, so it's really simple.
Okay, so he mentions it's only held down by a screw and a latch, but then looking at it, he hasn't actually put the standoff, and it looks like he's screwing the NVMe drive directly onto the motherboard. So generally, you'd get these with your motherboard,
get the
which is
little
a
screws.
tiny little standoff and a little screw that just kind of brings up the M.2 drive so that it's in line. He's screwing it down onto the motherboard like, oh. Is this computer even going to work?
Now, which lane you choose depends entirely on what other parts you're going to put in the system. I'm just going to pick the top one.
Absolutely wrong. He's absolutely wrong there. Obviously, you picked the top one because that one has the most bandwidth.
I'm just going to pick the top one because the SSD is at the bottom and I don't want to cover it. I just think it looks nice. Make sure that you align it with these little insulating pads. So
They're not insulating pads, they're anti-vibration pads. What are you insulating against?
so the power supply doesn't short circuit and come into contact with the rest of the system.
Whoa! Hold the phone.
That is so dumb.
You are actually an idiot.
We have a 120 volt outlet, and then we have our power supply. Oh no! 120 volts. I'm touching the case. There's 120 volts going through my body right
I'm
now.
tired.
What happens if we take that nice little thing? Nothing. Because if we go into continuity, it's grounded. It's almost as if the people developing electrical standards knew what the heck they were doing.
It's a good thing he has
gonna die.
What Jesus do bracelet on, or he'd be really screwed.
So just take it in, slide it in nice and easy until
What?
you have a snug fit, and then shift it to
What?
the back and make sure it's right up against
What is
the
he doing?
What's wrong here?
Oh my god, he's putting the fan towards the back of the case. He's gonna suffocate airflow on it. Oh no.
If you want this PC to actually last and not burn
Oh,
itself
it's
the fuck
gonna
up,
explode.
Potentially a fire hazard.
You should never
It's
do
actually
that.
gonna
Never,
explode.
ever, like, block the fan.
What the case is designed for is that the power supply should be facing outward, or the fan should be facing outward, so it could pull air in.
This guy's gonna be replacing the power supply in a few months, and he's gonna be like, "Holy crap! Why is this thing dead already?"
Always be sure to try to place.
Hold on.
I could see through this.
I can see the table through the fins of the radiator. He does not have fans on that.
Why are there no fans on the radiator? So he's just gonna fry his CPU too.
He also doesn't have the plastic cover on this. That has thermal paste on it. If that thing happens to tilt or anything else, he's just gonna smear thermal paste everywhere. Possibly get it dirty.
There's nothing special about this screwing in process. They're just really long screws because they go through the entire frame of the cooler, and they take forever.
You know why they're really long screws is because you're supposed to put the fans on and then screw the fans on with those screws. That's why they're long.
Because the fans are this thick, and
can't
the
cope.
screws go through the fans into the radiator to mount them to the radiator.
He should use the small one. He going to drill holes into the heatsink of the radiator.
And that fluid's gonna go everywhere.
Okay, he's probably broken his all-in-one now.
I doubt this PC is gonna last very long.
My family in
I
China
don't-
who made this product
I don't even think it's gonna work. I genuinely don't know if this is gonna be able to switch on.
working so hard right now.
Every power supply is going to come with a big bag of Velcro cables.
Okay, every power supply is going to come with a big bag of cables.
That's
It's
not
not
true.
going to, not every power supply, because not every power supply is modular. You have modular power supplies, semi-modular, and then just normal straight cables. So that's a bit of a misleading statement.
Typically, you want to put the cables in the power supply first. Some cases, very difficult to put it in after.
I was gonna say it's very messy. It's very once you put it in the case, everything is kind of really tight knit. So you want to make sure that all the one of the main jobs, one of the most difficult jobs, is getting the cabling right, making it nice, neat, but enough way if it needs changing, it needs changing. Don't like solid glue it down, but
To the fact.
Oh dear.
he's already fucked
Considering you
himself up.
fucked up everything so far, I have no faith in you putting the CPU properly in its socket.
Why the hell is the CPU not installed at this point?
A Core i7 hexa-core CPU. Yeah, we've got one, and it's an 8th generation chip,
Yeah,
and
we
it
got one. Super exclusive. You can only buy it on every major retailer in the world.
supports overclocking. So what
I
happens-
swear to God, you better not
He
overclock.
gotta- if he overclocks his PC, it's gonna explode in his face. I'm actually dying. It's too funny. This is really fun. I'll tell you what as well, I'm liking people's reactions. These guys will be much more knowledgeable than me. I'm just a general technician. I don't specify in like building PCs or especially game PCs. But I know 90% of what they're on about here. But oh man, I think I'm enjoying the reactions as well.
plastic part out. Just
Does he
toss
put
it
the-
out of here.
No, don't do that.
And-
No, you need that.
What the heck did he just do? And he goes like, Last Jedi level.
Motherboard manufacturers actually require you to have that but plastic cover for the socket, the CPU socket, if you plan on RMAing that motherboard, if there's a problem with it and you plan on sending it back to
You
the
need to return it,
manufacturer
you need the
to get
little
fixed,
plastic
they
thing.
need that plastic cover. They will not accept an RMA process or request if you don't have that cover. So don't throw that away. Always keep that.
And also, you do not just pull it out of the socket, it pops out after you put your CPU in, which you would know if you would have already put your CPU in before all of this garbage that you did on your case.
And we're going to use the CPU applicator. This is a special
Is
little
that?
part that
I've
not
never
everyone
seen
may
that.
get, but this motherboard
I have never seen that in my life.
What the fuck is a CPU applicator?
I have never seen
I've
a
never seen one
bracket
of them
for
either.
the CPU to be held on so you can install it properly.
It's called a CPU installation tool. It makes it really
You don't need
useful.
that.
So what having this little installer does for you is it's
Really, you just placed your CPU on, thermal paste, cooler. No.
basically a brace that you can apply.
Yeah, you don't need
What's the
that.
point?
And this will make it easier
You-
for us to apply it to
You
the
don't
motherboard
need that.
and make sure that everything lines up. And we're gonna
It's
clasp
not
down
that
on it,
difficult.
and we get
It's really
the
not
holders
that.
right
That
here.
bit's really easy.
and we'll clasp down on it, and we'll be good.
Why did he spend all that time talking to us about that CPU holder
And then not use
thingy
it.
if he didn't even use it?
He knows he didn't need it. Now we can't delete everything he said because the editor is someone else other than him.
So we're about to apply thermal paste to the CPU.
Why are we about to apply thermal paste to the CPU? I'm looking in the AIO, like typically AIOs come with like a thermal, a small amount of thermal paste already pre-applied.
Every CPU cooler actually comes with a bit of thermal paste already neatly applied in a...
Not every CPU cooler.
Not all do. A lot do nowadays.
Essentially PC building practice to have a little bit extra and layer
No,
it
it's
on
not.
top of the CPU.
No.
What he do? It's a CPU. You're not icing a cake.
By the looks of it, where I've paused, he looks like he's adding more thermal paste to the CPU, and
He's
then he's going to put what's already on the cooler on top. Which that's a big no-no. Don't do that. That's awful. What you should do is use a pea-sized drop of thermal paste in the middle.
You only need a little bit, right in the middle, a little tiny bit, right in the middle, and then it'll it squishes and spreads out. You don't really need that much thermal paste. It's just to protect it.
Of the IHS, which is that like metal square on the CPU, integrated heat spreader as it's called. That's more than enough, is a pea-sized blob of thermal paste in the middle. Once you make the contact with the CPU cooler, that will actually spread out when you go to put pressure from the cooler on top of the CPU. So don't do this.
If they left this PC as is, it would probably be dead in a week.
So you're gonna see that.
Oh my God! What is that? What is this application process? What is that?
So you're gonna see that there are.
Oh my God!
So you're gonna see that there are 4 brackets.
Oh, I can't come. I can't do this. It's too funny. Oh my God. Oh God. It's just too much. It's just too much. It's their reactions as well that's making it even more funny as the reactors' reactions. Oh, it's just too funny.
It's like someone threw up thermal paste onto his processor.
It literally looks like a bird of shit all over the processor.
Imagine a ketchup packet slowly being ran over.
He went all bukkake up in that thermal paste.
You have a thermal paste spreader. Use the fucking thing. What is that?
Dude, I can't even make fun of this guy anymore. He's actually like messed up like almost everything.
I'm absolutely loving this. I think it's so funny. I'm actually dying. Oh my God. Yeah, basically he's just really ruined this computer, man. I mean, he spent $2,000 and he has fucked it.
If this computer posts, it'll be a freaking miracle.
I don't think it's going to boot up.
Raised off the processor, but it's also going to be close enough to actually physically come in contact with it.
They're going to keep the cooler off the processor, but it's going to be close enough to make physical contact.
Take thumb screws like this and just screw them on.
Can't even see what he's doing.
Woo, The Verge. I dislike your editing style so much. He said do it like this, and it's a wide shot. I can't even see what he's doing.
So now that our internals are done, we're going to put all the panels back on, which is the top glass, side glass, front glass, and of course the back panel where all of this
thank God it's done.
So we fully built the...
What is this? What is all of this?
So that cable management though.
When you're building a computer, always take the time to cable manage properly. Make sure everything looks neat. You know, your cables are not going to reflect your airflow.
So you can see there the cabling, which is admittedly the hardest bit, I would say, is all over the joint. I mean, to get the cables right, it is quite difficult. You need to find space where there isn't space and stuff like that. But God damn, that is really bad. I mean, I haven't even tried.
And he actually used his quote-unquote tweezers / what we know as zip ties, but he didn't do a very good job of actually cleaning up. And holy crap, look, there's a missing screw on his all-in-one water cooler pump. Why, you just had 3 and there's an extra one and you just threw it away just like your socket cover? And look at this. The tubing that goes into his all-in-one water cooler pump contacts
He still hasn't moved those RAM sticks either.
That's bad practice. That thing contains liquids that could potentially short out the system if it gets damaged by the heat generated by the graphics card. Now, it looks like he managed to find the right screw for the fans. Oh, good.
That's just awful.
And we got to the post screen.
No way.
And we got to the post screen.
They got to the post screen. Holy shit, it's a miracle.
I'm honestly surprised he got it to post at all.
That's amazing. That's the biggest surprise of all. He got to the post screen. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause.
And we got to the post screen.
You know what he totally skipped too? He totally forgot to mention how to plug in the power switch, reset switch, front USBs, front headphone jack, and microphone jack. Totally
Yeah,
skipped
that's
over
true.
the
He
front
hasn't
panel
done any
I/O.
of
I
that.
really want him to open up Computer Manager and see if it's pulling and if it's reading all 16 gigs because he still never fixed the memory.
And it's running pretty smoothly. I'm averaging 70 and 80 FPS.
You're averaging 70 and 80 FPS because you're in a plane flying around. The game really only needs to detail render your plane. Everything else is like half rendered because you're going so fast. So that's how they hide it with motion blur and all that stuff.
So right now I'm playing League of Legends. It's one of my favorite
bad
games. I'm actually
benchmark
playing
game.
against the-
Again, yeah, not high level games that not games that are good for like frame per second usage. So he's not doing a real good testing. He needs an actual benchmark. Use a benchmark, but then he'll probably kill his PC.
Requirement for League of Legends is literally a single core processor.
League
Fuck
of
off.
Legends could run on the shittiest of laptops. It was designed that way.
I'm averaging 120 FPS, and that's only because I've actually locked the game to that frame rate because
He's locked the game at 120 FPS. Why? Aren't we supposed to be benchmarking something? Why even bother?
The reason you have it capped at 120 frames per second is because you probably are not using a monitor that is 144 hertz. So anytime you get super high frame rates, you're probably experiencing ghosting and Yasuo showing up all over the place because your panel can't keep up with your system.
And of course now we also have a computer to test and benchmark games here at the Verge.
No. You did not get the right to benchmark games or test PC components if you build PCs like that, bro. You put your PSU the wrong way. You oversaturated in thermal paste. You mixed two thermal pastes together. You made a rat's nest for cable management. You even missed one screw on your all-in-one water cooler. Your radiator hoses contact the 1080 graphics card. Ain't nobody gonna respect your benchmarks after this, bro. 2.1 million subscribers ain't got a freaking screwdriver. Doesn't know what the heck tweezers are versus a zip.
Oh man, what a video. Oh god. God, do you know what the worst bit is? Somebody out there will have followed this kind of guide to make a PC, and that is not good. I mean, there's so many things wrong, I can't even, but oh god, it's funny.
Ty.
That is funny.
Doesn't know how to mount an all-in-one water cooler. Doesn't know how to put a power supply into their case. Thinks a power supply can short circuit by contacting the metal case.
All right, so long story short, this video sucks.
Presented by Capital One.
Capital One, you got the raw end of the deal.
Oh, you gotta get
Yeah.
your logo scraped off this thing. Holy moly.
I don't know why you guys sponsored this video because it's terrible. It's full of misinformation.
This is easily the worst PC build I have ever seen.
A lot of people are gonna screw their computer up.
Very scary. Someone who built a PC for the first time might think this is a good video to follow, and their PC explode. They don't know the video bad because they disable the right and dislike and comment. So much censorship. Feel like I'm back in China.
So all you have to do is take the brick and make sure that you align it with these little insulating pads so the power supply doesn't short circuit and come into contact with the rest of the system.
Doesn't short circuit and come into contact with the rest of the system. Doesn't short circuit and come into contact with the rest of the system. We have a big team of tech reporters.
This is the best thing I have seen in ages. Oh, I've got tears in my eyes. That was amazing. That was amazing. I mean, wow, that was just so bad. Oh, but people's comments on there, the props up to all those guys. I don't know any of them, if I'm being honest. I don't know who's reacting to what, but if you know any of them or if you can find any of them, check it out. There's a link to this original video in the description below, but goddamn, I thoroughly enjoyed that video. Don't forget to subscribe to me, and don't subscribe to The Verge. That was hideous. I don't know why they did that. They're a big channel. They could have got someone who's really clued up to do a good in-depth build, but they just didn't. They got someone who quite clearly doesn't know what they're doing and just following instructions blindly. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.
Last time that you get your nasty tracks. This was the last time that you fuck this dick.